another question I often get asked when it comes to the text adventure is, Mr. Steen, I just wrote like 10 lines of describing this great room that I created, and I went into all sorts of detail. But every time the person comes into that room, they have to read all 10 lines of code, and their eyes start to glaze over. Let's just say they type in the help key, and then they have to read the 10 lines of code again. They type in go east, but I only accepted east. They have to, and it says you don't understand that, but then you have to type in all 10 lines of code again. So it's like, is there something we can do to make it so that um, we don't see the description of the room every single time we go into the room because it's getting to be too much? And the answer to that is, why, yes, we can. And it's kind of cool. And another excuse me for a yawn. So, I'm not going to run this whole thing. I'm just going to explain the basic ideas here. You're going to create, then you have to do this for every room, is the thing. So you have to really dedicate yourself to it. But it's not that hard once you do it. You have to create a global variable for every room. I usually call them visit. I don't always call them kitchen visit. I might just call it room one visit because then it's easier for me to keep track of it. But some variable that's going to be a flag for whether they've been in the room before or not. And then, of course, I global that here. And so here I am in the kitchen. So, of course, I want to print the name of the room no matter what. Because if you print nothing, it's going to get confusing. You want to tell them they're in the kitchen. Then I say if the kitchen visit is false. So at the beginning of the game, it's false. So the first time they come to this, it has to be false. This is not changing anywhere else. And then it prints the room. But then, before it moves on, it makes the kitchen visit equal true again, which means it will never do this again, right? Like it was false, now it's true, which means it will not be false again unless something strange happens. You may also, oh goodness, sorry. This is my last video for the night, so hopefully I'm done making yawning noises, and I apologize for that. I just can't afford to wait until I'm awake in order to make this video. Anyway, continuing on, maybe you wanted this print statement about the exits in here as well. Like, they should be able to remember what the exits are. I don't want to tell them over and over again. But maybe you want to put that as part of the, no matter what, you tell them what the exit is. Either way. The one thing I wanted to add, I kind of find this a cool little trick that you can do, is you get down to your inputs and you make one of the inputs. This doesn't have to be the first one, it can be anywhere. But you make one of the inputs the ability to say look. And if they say look, then you set the kitchen visit to false again. You send them back to the same room. They come back up here. The kitchen visit is false. It gives them this code. That way I don't have to make a look that's like print, and do it all over again here, because it just says, oh, why don't you go back and just tell them, pretend like it's their first time visiting, and tell them everything that they see. That way you don't have to worry about people forgetting what's in the room and not being able to move forward. They can still see it if they need to see it. But if they don't need it, it'll just say the kitchen, and we'll let them come up with, what to do on their own. So that's a cool little trick. Not too hard to do. You just have to commit to it and do it for every room if you're going to do it.